On August 29, 2022, a seemingly distressed woman named Vandana Kalita walked into Noonmati Police Station in Guwahati, Assam. She reported that her husband Amarjyoti Dey and her mother-in-law Shankari Dey had been missing since July 26. According to her, there had been no contact, no calls, no message. Vandana continued knocking on police doors, but nothing moved. Then, in late October, 2 months later, Namalia finally visited Shankari's apartment in Jagamaya Apartments. Neighbors told him Shankari had moved out long ago to stay with her son and daughter, and curious Namalia went to their Amarjyoti Apartments flat, only to hear the same story. No one had seen Shankari in weeks. Her story kept shifting. Suspicion grew. Police checked bank records and discovered that Vandana had withdrawn over 5 lakh using Shankari's cut after she had allegedly gone missing. Vandana begged for help, hoping for urgency, but the investigation, superficial at best. No leads, no breakthroughs. Her confession, it was far more horrific than anyone had imagined. Along with 2 accomplices, Noonmati Dey and Amarjyoti Dey, she entered Shankari's flat in Jagamaya Apartments. Shankari was calmly watching TV. Without warning, Vandana smothered her with a pillow while Amarjyoti pinned her legs. At 3 a.m. the next morning, the trio drove to wrapped in blankets and plastic. The body parts were dumped in different locations across a valley. As he stood unaware inside their Amarjyoti flat, she struck him from behind with an iron rod. He died on the spot. Noonmati and Amarjyoti arrived, dismembered Amar's body into 5 parts, and the next day, drove to a forest near the India-Bangladesh border to dispose of the remains. The machete and rolling pin were discarded separately to confuse investigators. When the woman stopped breathing, Vandana placed a rolling pin beneath her neck and decapitated her with a machete. Life was tough. Amar was unemployed, and Vandana worked at a call center to survive. Eventually, Shankari softened, offered financial help, and Vandana quit her job to become a fitness trainer. Just silence. According to Vandana, Amar was abusive, addicted to drugs, and had multiple affairs. But police later revealed this narrative was Shankari, a 62-year-old retired employee of the Assam Power Distribution Company, was financially secure. She owned multiple flats across Guwahati and received regular pension and rental income. Neighbors reported seeing him at her flat often. Her husband Amar found out. Arguments escalated, and talks of divorce surfaced. But divorce meant no access to the wealth that Amar and Shankari controlled. Amarjyoti, a vegetable seller, needed money for his upcoming wedding and joined in for a talak. He was arrested just 3 days before his wedding reception. As if she knew murder in this country might get you arrested, but it won't stop you from living free. On the same day, Namalia filed a formal complaint with the CID, and then they make sure you disappear piece by piece. But the core truth remains this. For 5 months, the system slept, and within those months, a woman managed to kill her husband, and mother-in-law cleaned the crime scene, dispose of the bodies, host a poo, and even post happy selfies online without raising suspicion. At last, police decided to review the case properly. A special investigation team was formed under Deputy Commissioner Kalita. Police revealed that Vandana had a third target in mind, another family member, but for safety reasons, the name remains undisclosed. Both Vandana and Namalia feared money might be the motive for a kidnapping, but no ransom call ever came, and the police, still unmoved, though rejected at first, the Guwahati High Court granted conditional bail later that year. Vandana, Noonmati and Amarjyoti now walk free-bound only by weekly check-ins and travel restriction. Oddly enough, just 4 days before filing the report, Vandana had also approached her husband's cousin, Noonmati Dey, Shankari's nephew. In the forests of Nanjiat Meghalaya, human remains were recovered, later identified by fragments of a white and red nightie that Shankari often wore. Amarjyoti's remains were found in the Dorki forest. The police retrieved the murder weapons, the Honda accent used in both crimes, blood-soaked clothes, and even the pillow used in the killing. But his reaction was oddly indifferent, like he didn't quite register the seriousness of the situation. No one, it seemed, was truly alarmed, except Vandana. Weeks passed. No trace of Amarjyoti or Shankari. Still, he didn't raise any alarms. It wasn't until November 21st, nearly 3 months after Vandana's report, that Namalia finally filed his own missing complaint. Vandana, though, kept pushing. She visited the commissioner's office on February 14, 2023, urging them to investigate seriously. Both Vandana and Namalia were questioned, but during Vandana's interrogation, inconsistencies began to surface. She was summoned again on February 17th. Initially evasive, Vandana finally broke down after 2 days of relentless questioning. She had murdered them both. Her mother-in-law Shankari first stoned July 26th, a month before the complaint. Yes, decapitated. They then dismembered the body, stuffed it into polythene bags, and cleaned the bloodstains as if nothing had happened. But the horror didn't end there. On August 17th, just 22 days later, Vandana killed again. This time, her own husband Amar. After her confession, police arrested Noonmati and Amarjyoti. Both admitted to their roles without much resistance. Vandana led officers to the disposal sites. But what could drive a woman to commit such unspeakable crimes? 12 years earlier, Vandana had eloped with Amarjyoti during college. Their families were against the marriage, especially Shankari. But things soured again. Shankari disapproved of Vandana's lifestyle and cut her off. Vandana had been in a secret relationship with Danthi Dekka, a cab driver from Guwahati, who lived as a tenant near her parental home. So, she chose murder over separation. Danthi, lured by the promise of wealth and lust, agreed. Despite the brutality of their crimes, justice remained slow. A 1,600-page charge sheet was filed in May. The accused became eligible for bail. Even more chilling, the media twisted the facts, adding tales of stored body parts in a fridge and other tabloid-worthy fabrications. The justice system dragged. Court dates came and went. 40 hearings, yet no conviction. And Vandana, she smiled shamelessly at the cameras. Sometimes the monsters don't hide in shadows. They sit across the dining table. They say they love you.